Good evening and welcome to the Vassals of Kingsgrave. Today we will be discussing the second episode of Telltale's Game of Thrones series, The Lost Lords. My name is Peter, I'm known as Shelfis on the forums, and I'm joined by Zach.
Hey, this is Alias in the forums.
And Greg.
This is Claudius the Fool on the forums.
Brett.
That's White Raven on the forums.
And Patrick.
Hey, Patrick the Toll on the forums.
Okay, so Greg and Zach, you were on the first episode about the first episode of this series.
That's correct, yeah.
But I guess you could ask Brett and Patrick, like, have you played any sort of Telltale games before Game of Thrones?
No, this is my first one.
Well, me, I played like halfway through the first Walking Dead episode season. I played through a few of them, but only through half through the first season of it. And well, if it wasn't for the whole notion that I had to pay like $5 every time I wanted to play another one, and me being cheap at the moment.
Well, hey, at least you don't have to play $30 each time like this game. So.
Let me forget that.
Yeah, so I stopped midway, and because I didn't want to pay more money for it, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, myself, I have played the first season of The Walking Dead. I quite enjoyed it, but not enough to actually get into the second season or the DLC. But, yeah, so I guess we could get into the lemon cake ratings for episode 2. How about you, Zach?
I really enjoyed this episode. It really was mostly kind of exposition and setup, and I guess arguably filler for the next one, but I thought it was really well produced, well directed. I felt very much like I was in an episode of the show Game of Thrones while I was playing it, except with all the cool interactive elements too thrown in, and I was really enjoying myself. I thought it was really fun. There's some parts that I kind of have nitpicky gripes about, but besides that, I was really happy, so I'd give it, 4 lemon cakes.
And you, Greg?
I'm happy with a 4. I really enjoyed the getting to see the Eastern part of it. I mean, I have, like Zach said, little complaints, but overall I really enjoyed it. Probably my least favorite of all the storylines was the Mira storyline, just because I think I made some decisions earlier that didn't give me the options to do more. I mean, it made up for it at the end with a little the action that came, but I really like the stuff at the wall and the stuff in the East. But I'd give it a 4.
Interesting.
Cool. So, Brett?
It's hard for me to quantify it because I'm not really sure how I feel about this style game right now. I'm enjoying this and it's entertaining to me, but I don't know how high I'd give it as a game value. If I was rating it as a TV show, I think it'd be like a 4, but if I'm rating it as a video game I want to play, I think I'd give it like a 2.5 just because I don't enjoy the style, but I enjoy the game enough to keep playing it.
Cool.
So I'll give it a 3.
Boom.
3, cool. And, okay, and you, Patrick?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to divide it up as well. Essentially, for me, it's on the one half, the story and the story choices you can have. It frustrates me and makes me happy, and at both times, on the same time, actually, which is good. I like that. I like that it actually makes me feel something for the game and for the characters. So on story-wise, I would give it. Why not give it 5? It's good enough. It invokes feelings for me, so 5 for that. But gameplay-wise, I would say not so much. I think there's a lot of times where you just think, Jesus, why would you want to do this? Why can't you just have something a bit more meaningful to do interactively? So for that, I would give it 3. 2. Maybe.
Do you drink or do you not drink?
Yeah. So yeah, I would say.
Did we all play it on the PC, or did some of you play it on console?
I have it on the PlayStation.
PC.
I played on PC.
I played it on PC. First, I tried it with mouse, and then I hooked up my controller to it, and it's none of the methods are better than the other.
You think? I think I've played both on controller and on keyboard, and I think controller actually feels better. I think it was more designed for that in mind. It's not great, but it's better, I think.
Yeah, because every time there were actually some points where I clicked the wrong choice because the mouse had that delay built into it. But yeah, it would have been better with the controller probably.
I have issues with the button decision. Like they want you to use the right joystick to like move the cursor around the screen. But the
really, I use like with like an Xbox controller, it lets you pick the color buttons, like X, Y, B, A are the options.
Yeah, but no, that's not. I don't think that's what you mean, right? I think when you want to hit some active spot on the screen, like
Right, when you have to
wanna
grab it to a
okay.
spot,
grab a
and,
sword or
like
something.
click on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's like you scroll the cursor to it, hit R2. Well, I'm always like hitting the wrong joystick, and when it wants
Yeah.
me to move, like left, right, up, or down, it's awkward.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be annoying.
Really stupid.
But I just hate quick time events anyway, so that's probably
Yeah,
why.
I wish it had no quick time events, or it was all quick time events.
Yeah,
The points were, oh, now you can walk around for a minute. It's like, I don't want to walk around. I just want to do the next thing.
I don't mind making the decisions. I just like tap X, hit circle, move to the left.
Q up. Just you're gonna live anyway, even though I died 12 times when I was fighting. Just get on. I just want to get on. I was like, it's no fun. Just get on with it. It's all about the story. That's the whole Telltale thing, isn't it? That it's a story.
I don't know. I think the combat gameplay is pretty good. Like you can decide whether to stab the guy in the face or the chest.
He's going.
Options, there you go. See, I think that's really interesting you guys think that, because I'm kind of with Peter on this. I like that first sequence, like with Asher in the bar fight. Like, I loved that. I thought it was really fun, and I thought that even though it's very basic controls, something about hitting buttons and kind of being a part of the experience added something for me than if it had just played out like a cutscene.
It does add like a certain like adrenaline to it, because you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit. But
I was like, oh, I've died 9 times. Can we just get on with it, please? Because
Yeah.
I guess that
Yeah.
would
Again.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
would
guess if
definitely
you're a
say
good game player, you enjoy it. But if you're shitty at it, like me and Craig, you don't.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, I would definitely say it also adds a slight frustration level to it that maybe not necessary that much, at least.
It's not a major complaint. It's just like that's my only real gripe I have is just the weird decisions. But it's still I completely enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I guess if we want to finish up the lemon cake reviews, I think I'm gonna go with the prevailing view as well as like give it a 4, since like I enjoyed this episode much more than the first one. It sort of had those, I guess, action beats and more characters that I enjoyed, and like more meaningful scenes, I suppose. But it was still kind of felt a little bit like build up, so I'm not comfortable giving it a 5, I suppose. Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
So if we wanna dig into the story, then I guess we could go into the first Asher scene then. So we join Asher Forrester as he is emptying his bladder on the streets of Yunkai at 3 days after the liberation, and that sort of firmly establishes the game as being set in the show universe instead of the book universe again.
Kind of unrelated. Actually, it helps that it's the show universe because, like, his name is Asha, and I'm always thinking to call her Ash. Fuck, what's her name? It's
Asha.
Yara in the show.
No?
Yeah,
Oh.
she reminds me of the Ironborn chick. It's Asha, right? In the book?
Oh, you're thinking
Yeah,
of his friend?
Yeah.
She, her name is something else. His name is Asher.
Yeah, I
That's-
know, it starts with a B. But what I'm saying is, I keep thinking they're talking about her because she reminds me of so much of Asha from the Iron Islands.
Mm.
Like, that's
I
what I
can see
picture
that.
her as now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I don't really see that much. Like, she's pretty tan, isn't she?
Okay.
Details. Asha's got to spend some time in the South, but yeah, she speaks the common tongue with very little accent. So I think she's from Westeros, or at least one of the Western free cities.
Maybe it's just me being sexist and being like, there's only one fighting woman here.
Could very well be. But on the sort of on the street, the scene that sort of bothered me was that they had like a manticore there. Like, I mean, I thought
Just roaming the streets, just manticores.
Yeah, I mean, I thought those were all supposed to be like super expensive and rare. Like you just like got them from some jungle island somewhere. Like, but they're just like roaming the streets here. Like,
It's something that people would remember from the show, from Danny. When it.
I was like poised over the buttons thinking I was going to have to do something.
Do you want to pee on the manticore, or do you not want
Yeah.
to pee on the manticore?
Yeah, press A to stomp on it, or press B to run away.
yeah, I guess it was just sort of like trying to showcase Asher's sort of badassery, that he just doesn't care about this sort of like super poisonous thing over there. He just like
Right.
shrugs it off.
With his dick out, it doesn't matter. I'd get that thing packed away ASAP if I was in that situation.
Maybe it's not big enough to worry about. There's no way it can hit this thing.
So, like overall, what did you guys think about the introduction of Asher, like as a character?
I didn't like his accent.
Oh.
Actually, I think it was kind of forced northern accent.
I think all of them sound the same. Like him and Ethan and Roderick. I think all their accents sound the same, so they kind of go together.
Yeah, but I just think that Ethan's and the others, their accents work better than his.
All right.
Maybe he's trying hard because he's been away from home for so long. He's overcompensating.
I don't know. Yeah.
Generally, for me, I was into it. I thought that it's just really fun to do that. I think you mentioned this on the forums, Peter. That just like the swashbuckling roguery of it. I guess it was just fun. It was like a cool like take on the world, and I'm into seeing where it goes in the future. And yeah, it was fun. I like being in Essos. Surprisingly, they did a good job, kind of making.
That's why Danny stayed there.
Because of Asher.
Just a nice place to be.
Yeah, we're meant to believe that they're part of Danny's army, but we're never told what group of sellswords they're in, or are they just like two roaming sellswords just attached to any particular company? Because they're obviously not part of the Lost Legion, right?
Sounds to me like they were like following up behind her, like they're in the city behind her, and like they were helping, like they captured the guy for the slaves that took over.
Yeah,
like
they're
the
not with the army currently. They're staying behind for whatever reason, so maybe they're not really with Danny. I don't know. I imagine wouldn't it make sense for him to be in the Second Sons? Wouldn't that be like the
Well, they're dressed like their armor is kind of like Dario's armor, but I don't know if that like shoulder blade thing, like that's just sellsword in general, not any specific company.
Yeah, I think they're probably freelancers. Like they talk about the Second Sons that they have some contacts there, but they're sort of like pissed off at Asher, so they're probably not part of the company.
Okay.
But at this point in the game, is Danny in Marine yet? Or because I know they're in Yunkai, but I
think she's marching to Marine at this point.
Okay.
On the way.
Yeah, because they know that she's there because they're going after her, right?
I'm always confused about where it is. Like when Jon Snow pops up, I'm like, is he? What is he right now to the Night's Watch?
He just came back from the Wildlings. He's back from that.
I had to do that with Tyrion, where I was like, wait a minute, he's got the scar on his face. This is after the Blackwater, but he's still in the good graces of the court, so it's before. It's tough to just.
We're gonna get to Tyrion.
Level. Yeah.
We'll get to Tyrion. I got something to say about that.
Yeah, so I guess we get this sort of like made-up sellsword company, the Lost Legion here from Volantis. Then that's sort of the big antagonist for this section of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With their cool.
They're pretty cool.
Greek helmets.
Yeah, they've got cool armor. I like it. I'm into it. There's a lot of them though. It seems like there's always like another one.
How many people killed them?
Every single one of them.
Yeah, every single one I saw, I killed it.
No, the guy, like, you have the choice to break his neck or break his knee.
Oh, I didn't kill him. I didn't kill that guy.
I don't think you could have killed him, because,
I killed him in one and didn't kill him in the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they see him, like, two guys are helping him away if you don't kill him. But if you do kill him, they never help him away.
Yeah. It's like, this was one of the things that sort of like swayed me towards the game. Like I was like, oh, they got the lore right. Like they've got purple eyes there from Volantis. They're like got the Valyrian blood. I'm into this. But like then they went into the potatoes thing, and I was like, fuck potatoes. That's my favor.
I actually didn't notice the whole potato thing. When was that?
Well, it's coming up. It's
What?
coming up.
Okay, because I didn't notice it.
How did you miss that?
Potato hooker? Jeez.
Because it doesn't really make that much difference for me. Me, it's more like which shape of shields do people use, and are they strapped to their hands or what? Stuff like
I get it, but
combat.
The best line in the whole thing was the potato fucker line. You don't have to pick it, but it's hilarious. So
maybe Patrick made some decisions earlier that he didn't get that option. That's the real game they're playing.
Yeah, I don't think I want to come back to Asher, like, because we do have a short scene of him and later on, like, when they're leaving, so I guess we could sort of try to wrap him up right now.
They just do the whole storyline.
Yeah, like, they're going to Marine next, and, like, Beshka has some sort of, like, dark secret in Marine that she doesn't want to reveal, I suppose.
I guess.
Whatever could that be?
Yeah, she's got this, like scars on her face. Looks like it might have been some sort of beast, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, you think she was maybe a slave, like a slave pit fighter?
Yeah, like Belvas. maybe.
Think they'll be like velociraptors in the next episode or something?
Hopefully,
We'll see.
hopefully.
Aren't the Velociraptors all on Satharios? They haven't made the way over.
Well, there's some in Bravos as well.
Oh, I missed that part.
But
Also,
I
we
guess-
get Usher's uncle
Bravo.
showing up out of nowhere, which was very fortuitous at the perfect second.
Yeah, like I don't know how much time has like taken like elapsed between the sections, like because Ethan died like a week ago or something. And
Yeah.
Malcolm's
All right, but this is
already
the
in
show. We got little finger teleporters up in here.
Yeah,
Like,
he
good
just
point, yeah.
he hitched a ride on the Raven as it was flying over the opening scenes map, and that just dropped him in Yunkai.
Roderick's been dead for like like 2 weeks now, and he just shows up in a cart and he's fine. He's like, oh, just a few stitches. I should be okay.
How many weeks have actually passed if you actually think about it? Because it wasn't like straight away after Garen came home that the whole thing with the choice with Bolton, Snow, Ramsay Snow, and everything. So that might actually have been like 2-3 weeks, 3 weeks at least, right?
Well,
Garrett's got
between-
time to get to the wall, so
Yeah, but Garrett had to walk from the twins to Ironwrath, and in that whole time,
past the Ironborn at Mokalan easily. There was no issue there.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like time frame, and then but that whole time, and then got to the wall, and then Roderick has been in a cart, dead with no food, water, or anything. But he's just that's fine. You're not supposed to think about these things.
Yeah, if you're
Exactly.
gravely wounded, I guess you can. How long can you survive in that state? Maybe a week at best, I suppose. But
Maybe he was taking bites out of his dad to stay alive, like Ravenous.
What the fuck?
Don't die.
good reference, good reference. Yeah. But okay,
Okay.
moving on from Myrene, I guess we can move on to Roderick's first scene, like on the corpse cart, and we get some more
Yep.
maggots that everybody loved in the first episode. And on this scene, I was like really like fearing for Roderick's life, like that they rolled up into the courtyard and they were gonna leave, and I was like, oh fuck, is he really gonna leave? Like, oh shit, like are we gonna have to survive in the wild alone or something like that? But thankfully he was able to drag himself out of the cart and plop himself down on the ground there. And
Yeah, wouldn't Sir Royland at least want to like get the body of his lord back for a burial? Like he's just gonna let him go because it was a fucking fray? Or
Well, hold up.
Just-
This is Sir Royland we're talking about here, all right?
Yeah,
My
but-
Sentinel.
He's not my sentinel.
No, it's
Not
not.
my sentinel.
he's mine in one and not in the other.
yeah, I do think
Yeah.
Royland makes for a better sentinel than Duncan, though.
I wanted to pick him, but I felt Duncan's level-headed, and I felt like we needed subtlety with dealing with Ramsay, and of course that didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't matter what you did.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a replay with different choices, especially Royland. I think I'm gonna choose him next time.
yeah, I mean,
I like
Duncan
how,
is,
like-
appeases the white pill soldiers. He's like getting them drunk and all that shit. Like Royland is starving them out.
Right.
Dude.
They're getting
Royland
ready to
all the way.
riot.
Oh, and the other one, he's not feeding them. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, either way, you got an issue.
Just generally on Roderick, I think it's really, I mean, first of all, it's a game changer that he's alive. Like, the whole point at the end of episode 1 that was really scary was there was no Lord, as far as we could tell, in Ironwrath. So to have him there and to have some kind of, even though he's beat up and obviously not at full strength, having him exist is really, really big, and I thought that was a cool sort of switch up, and I think he's a fun character, so I like it.
Yeah, good point. Exactly. Like that was like how I sort of fell in love with the episode 2, because like I love the Asher section with all the like rogue swashbuckling stuff, and like then we find out that Roderick is alive. That I was sort of like that. I really like that because I sort of like fell in love with Roderick a little bit, even that like that first scene in episode 1, and like he was like fighting and being all badass, and even his codex entry and all that stuff. I was really sad that he died, and now that he's alive, it's feels good. I like.
Or we
So
know
who-
who's the older brother between the two?
It's Roderick. He was
Roderick
there.
Is the oldest? Okay.
That
Roderick was
was
the heir.
yeah. Who
Yeah.
do you think's the bigger badass between the two? It's kind of hard to say because Roderick is like walking around with like his intestines falling out and stuff. So he's
I
pretty
think
cool.
I feel like Roderick was, but it probably isn't anymore, obviously. Ash, he kind of let the woman do a lot of the work in the battle. She was like
Yeah.
killing people left and right, and he got his ass backed into a corner, and then his uncle came in and saved him.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how good a fighter he is.
the best guy's pretty badass though, with the kukris and shit like that. I was really into
Yeah,
that.
She's got like the Legolas swords.
Yeah. But I don't know, like Roderick is more sort of the noble knight archetype, I suppose.
Yeah.
And Asher is more of like this sort of like, I don't know, berserker sort of like, I guess
Yeah.
like rogue, like this sort of like underhanded, like, I don't know, dirty fighting kind of guy. I feel like.
Do you think like Roderick would actually use the sword, the two-hander?
The Gregor's sword.
Yeah, their sword.
Yeah, I don't like. That's a good point. Like, I don't think that, like, Roderick is probably not gonna ever fight again. I don't think.
Nah.
Like, do you guys agree?
Anything's possible in this. I think that they
He
could
just
make an
lived for
excuse
2 weeks with no medicine and no food.
to
and
speed
no
up the
water.
recovery beyond reason. I think it could happen, but I think it could go either way.
We don't know how much time's going to go by because we know that this is set between. This will end before the next season starts, right? So there's only a couple weeks at least for him to get better. So I can't see him mending
Yeah.
fully, and getting back into fighting form. He'll have to use his wits. So that'll be more fun though. Also, I think.
Did you guys decline the milk of the poppy? You're not trusting the maester.
I still don't trust. I don't trust Ewan McGregor. I mean that Maester.
I declined too, just because Roderick's the biggest badass around. He doesn't need that shit.
Need that shit.
Just do it.
Yeah, I dragged that shit up straight away.
Did you guys
So-
need the little girl's help, or did you take the sword?
Oh, I had her help. I had Talia's help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the? So when? I'm just gonna ask a question. When did you guys start mistrusting Maesters? Was that like because of Marvin the Mage or what? Because
Oh no, I don't trust all Maesters. I just distrust this guy because one of the first options we had was like, well, I could make you my Maester. I was like, well, just the fact that that's there and he was going to respond to that. I got a weird vibe from him. Just like he, about the North Grove, like he felt like he was poking your buttons trying to get answers out
He
of
was
you
definitely
when you
fishing
were
there.
weak.
yeah, did you in the Codex? Do you know where he's from originally? Which house he's?
Somewhere in the way, I think.
Okay.
Oh great,
Of course.
Ortengrin. There's no other Ortengrins in the book as far as we know, correct? That seemed like he
Not
was
that I'm
made
aware
up.
of.
Maybe he's like Peter Baelish's little brother we hadn't heard of yet either.
Oh shit, that would be
Like
interesting.
I did 2 playthroughs as well. Like, I wanted to see what happened if you didn't take the milk of the puppy. Like, if you got to see like the surgery that went down, but it's just like if you don't take it, you just sort of pass out from the pain. So it doesn't really
yeah.
make any difference. Anyway. But let's not shatter people's illusions. Like, of course, every choice makes a big difference.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
Of
definitely.
course.
No, but my point with this whole sword thing is, it's their family sword. You know, Ned used ice, and but do you think any of the remaining men in the family actually will be able to use that ancestral sword of theirs?
Well, I don't know. Like, Asher seems like
Asher.
a dual wielder kind of guy. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't really look like he's just lobbing around two-handers.
yeah, I don't
their
know,
little
maybe
brother
Ryan
survives.
when he grows up.
Yeah, he might grow into it.
Mm.
Assuming he's not a White Hill turncloak.
It's not a Valyrian steel sword. It's just like some casual force steel. Isn't it?
So who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's just some
Exactly.
run-of-the-mill sword.
It looks cool though.
It's got like the insignia on the hilt there, so it's a pretty cool sword.
I don't know. It's still like Gregor felt it was important enough to send Garen on his way with the sword.
Well, it was important.
Sure.
You lived because of it.
Well.
That first season, I know you guys already talked about it, but when they were like kept bitching about, oh, we're worth 10 of your men, then why did one of our fucking pig farmers just kill 2 of you and run the 3rd one off? Yeah, you're worth 10 of us, all right.
Oh man.
We're gonna fight.
But Garen is like the biggest badass ever. Like he's so cool.
Oh, well, okay, well, good segue though. Let's move on to Garrett, and he gets to the
Yeah.
wall and meets all the new faces there. Like, So Garrett gets to the wall and meets up with Cutter and Frostfingers and Finn the Bully.
Frostfingers.
So, what do you guys think about this new set of characters at the wall? Like, was it too similar to John's experience? Or?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
do you mean? There's nothing like John's experience.
Not remotely.
It's just clones, really.
Well,
I
that's
feel like
like.
he,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's dealing with a bully, I guess. John was dealing with bullies too, but I think that's the wall in general.
No, but he has Alistair Thorne equivalent and this guy who's going to befriend, and yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, I don't
John.
think less of the Frostfingers guy yet.
You don't think
like,
less of him?
I don't think of him like I do Alistair Thorne.
Oh, okay. I think of him more as Dolores' Ed's much less funny brother. Because like, you're all gonna die 7,000 times every time he talks.
He kind of looks like Benjen, but he's kind of skinny. I don't know, like, they sort of felt the need to introduce this sort of like trainer character that wasn't there in the books or the show. I guess they couldn't like secure the actor for Alistair Thorne or something.
Well, that's like one of my. It's not a complaint, but it seems like so many of the characters. It's just analogs for characters that we know, and it gets to the point where it almost doesn't matter who they are because it's like, okay, that's a Catelyn analog. That's Alistair Thorne. That, it just because it feels like it takes away from what they're doing if you always think of their other person in the books or in the show. Like, why couldn't they have had Ed just in the background there? Like, there were no characters there that we recognize.
Jon Snow was there.
Well, except for Kit Harington, of course, who had
Snow.
yeah, and like, geez, if there was no dialogue, you'd think that Garrett had the hots for Jon Snow. Like, he just kept looking at him from the corner of his eye.
I know.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Well, yeah.
I think he was looking at just the people in charge that were supposed to be watching them. Like, he's kind of wanted them to notice that he was doing well.
Yeah. Look at me, look at me.
But he did have like that little smile, like, "Hi, John."
Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Shoot a crossbow between the eyes.
In his crossbow. Ooh.
Yeah, but that hair though, Kit Harington has really nice hair, right? So that's
Too curly.
In general, like this storyline, I'm just like, I don't know how this is going to remotely factor into everything else, and that's why I'm kind of not engaged by it so far. I just, it just doesn't.
Away.
Yeah, unless he runs away or something. I mean, something could happen
And
with
then
the
his
North
two
Grove.
friends come and stop him, and they make him recite the oath.
Surely that'll happen. But yeah, I mean, I
sort of
What?
feel like they aren't going to want to retread this sort of like the Battle for Castle Black. So
Exactly.
that they're gonna make Garrett a ranger and they're gonna send him north of the wall to find the North Grove in a couple
I
of
guess.
episodes. Like, I saw that I think the sort of title card for episode 4 was a White Walker or another, so I figure that's
Wait, you
probably gonna be there.
Do you think the North Grove is beyond the wall?
Yeah, sure
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, I thought it was a part of their lands that, like, that's what he was there. He has to protect. That's why he told him to look out for the North Grove.
They should call it the very North Grove.
yeah.
Oh, I missed that because I figured like there were some trees that like you can't cut down, or there's some weird magic thing going on like in the North Grove. On
I
their
think
land.
it felt to me like it was the secret place, and it wouldn't really be that secret if it was like 50 miles from Winterfell.
Unless it
Oh,
should be
it's a-
called-
Yeah, I think it's
The
definitely
north of the
north of the wall. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my biggest revelation I've had yet. So thank you for that.
So did you guys ask anybody about the North Grove? Like, did you reveal the secret to anyone?
Only to the guy that he told me to.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
same
Duncan.
here, same
Yeah.
here.
Duncan.
Yeah, I guess on my like first playthrough I kept it pretty close to the chest, but like on my second playthrough I revealed it to everybody. So like I asked Frostfingers about it and he was like, "Yeah, I've heard of the North Grove. I've heard about Snogs and Grumpkins too, bitch."
Are you serious? The wall knows about whites at this point. Why would he talk about snarks and grumbles?
Yeah, and I told John the same thing and he was like, "Yeah, old man used to tell stories about like ice dragons and the North Grove, like something."
Oh
about
wow.
Oh, see, that's because I didn't tell anyone about it. That's why I don't know anything about it.
Is there an ice dragon there? Is that what's gonna happen?
It might be. Never know. But
That
I
would be
guess it's like-
glorious.
everyone you mention it to, they sort of know it from like old legends and stuff like that, but I don't know what it's actually gonna be. Probably has
Jesus, I
something
wish
to
I
do
never
with
kept
Ironwood.
secrets.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut, people.
Well, you have to tell us when we get further on in the story if it has really any repercussions.
Hey, guess what? You can do it yourself. But bam! Just go back and start
Yeah.
telling people.
But it's like
Yeah.
if you're not gonna tell anybody about it,
Well-
you're gonna like just gonna go up there on your own and like get eaten by an ice dragon or something. Should at least tell Jon Snow about it.
They're not gonna eat me. I'm a Tuttle.
Tunnel. Generally speaking, like I'm just at this point not that interested in it. I feel like it feels too much like it's going to end up being like a Deus Ex Machina thing, and I'm worried about that. And in general, just like the whole Wall storyline doesn't feel interesting. So that's my biggest gripe so far.
I feel like they're not gonna have anything that's that earth-shattering in the Song of Ice and Fire world, though. Like they're not
they
gonna.
could.
They're not gonna roll out an ice dragon in the fucking Telltale game and be like, "Yep, that's canon right there, motherfuckers, ice dragons."
Well, according
no
to
way.
the Telltale forums, everyone thinks the North Grove is somewhere on the Iron Wrath's lands. Like that's what I thought. So I think you guys are crazy to think that this small northern house has a secret beyond the wall. Like they can't even get there.
But I like on the first episode when you leave Iron Wrath as Garrett, Duncan tells you like become a ranger if you can, find the North Grove or something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I forgot that. So yeah.
Pretty
You
sure
probably-
it's beyond the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it probably has something to do with the Ironwood because they're sort of going a little bit off the reservation there with the Ironwood. Like it's like produces blue fire and stuff like that. So it's like
Well, I looked into that. Apparently, a lot of really hardwoods will produce blue fire under certain conditions, but it did seem to be almost magical.
Is the condition if your lord dies?
I don't know. I looked it up 5 minutes before we started recording. I was like, blue fire, ironwoods, and that's all I saw.
yeah, I don't know. Like when I was reading books and George was talking about Ironwood, I just thought it was like a fancy fantasy term for like pines or something like that. Like
It seems like it's a general term just for hardwoods. Like there is no actual ironwood in our world, right?
yeah, like he calls some trees sentinels as well. I thought that was like a fir tree or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a common name for a large number of woods that have a reputation for hardness.
Yeah, they exist, and they even exist in the books. They like there's ironwoods mentioned in the books, but not like this kind. I'm sure this is like something else.
I guess you sort of have a little bit of choice in the wall section, like you can try to sort of befriend either Finn the bully or Cutter the thief. But did you guys try like which one did you go for?
Well, let's go through this chronologically. Did you guys stand in his spot? I stood in his spot.
I did too.
Yeah, I said fuck. He didn't say fuck off, but I told him to say fuck off. Anybody else do that?
Yeah, I said fuck
I
off.
think something like that I did.
Yeah, I just ignored him.
But he didn't say that.
Didn't he? I don't remember. I remember clicking fuck off.
Oh,
I
so
clicked
he
fuck
said
off,
something
but
that
he
you
didn't
didn't
say
click? Okay, so it's like Mass Effect.
Well, he just didn't say fuck off. I mean, that's what I meant. That's what he said meant, but he didn't say it. And I was like, hey, come on, man. You listen to what I tell you.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but on the whole, I did support Cotter. I said that I didn't reveal that he took the dagger, and I fought the guy.
Cotter looks shifty.
He fucks potatoes.
Yeah, but he looks shifty. Like the way he just looks around and stuff, and just that fucker. At least the other guy, he's a bully.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Connor is friendly though. Like when you first get to the wall, he's hey man, what's up? Like you look you look nice. Like that's not good around here or something like that.
Did you check your inventory after you talked to him?
No, I didn't. Might have taken my healing herbs or something.
You could have taken your piece of linen or whatever you have.
See, I was so not even realizing what was going on that I was like, what are those three things that are always at the corner of my screen? I can't click, I can't do anything. I realized it was my inventory.
So
Which-
I just read up on the Wikipedia. There is actually something called ironwood in the real world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know. I didn't get that you were.
It
actually-
exists, but I'm fairly certain the ironwood in the game is like it's got something else going on for it to be this valuable. It's like beyond what
probably.
normal ironwood is.
Sure, but it could be like there's olive trees and stuff like that. It could be like a special hard tree with like sort of a carotene or something in it that makes it burn like it was alcohol or something, alcohol flames.
Like on the wall section, like on my second playthrough, I did try to like befriend Finn because he's big and strong, and that might come in handy. But like you can't really betray Cutter to him. Like you can tell him that Cutter was the one who stole the knife, but he beat you up anyway. So like you're better off
That's
just,
nice.
you're better off just like trying to cozy up to Cutter, and maybe he'll say.
Yeah, you don't befriend the bully. You don't do that.
What are you talking about?
But so I guess
Yeah.
there's not that much choice in this game after all. I know I'm shattering illusions again,
If
but-
we're still saying that after episode 6, then it's going to be a pretty not worth it if there's no choice.
We're gonna be like, well, it's a good thing Cersei remembered that shit because it didn't matter.
Speaking of those reminder things, there was one in this episode I just want to shout out to. If you don't say anything to Jon when he asks you why you're on the wall, it will say up there, Jon Snow knows nothing. So that was
Oh,
fun.
I saw you post that, or someone post that. I thought that was.
thought it was
that
fake.
a joke.
No, that actually can happen in the game. Yeah,
I like.
if you say nothing when he asks you why you're there.
I wonder if you just say nothing the entire game, how that ends up. Like you never say anything.
So is that like Jon Snow knows about nothing? Is that what it means, or is it like?
Oh well,
Jon
it's
Snow
like he knows nothing about you. I think is the joke, because you didn't say anything about your intentions.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I guess we can move on to the first Mira scene in the episode. That starts with writing letters of invitations to Marjorie's wedding, and you've.
This is where the excitement really picks up.
Yeah, I need
I
someone
love this
who knows.
shit.
I want to know someone who knows more about medieval history, but I'm under the impression that paper was very valuable back then. That they didn't actually just send out wedding invitations like that. Like they used the same piece of paper over and over again.
Dude, these are the rich of the rich.
Yeah, but
These
even
are the one
then, like,
percenters of
paper-
Westeros.
Yeah, but paper was like they didn't even use spaces when they wrote stuff out. Like it just seems like paper was super, and they're just writing "Dear Sir Maynard Blob" or whatever. I don't know. That just bothered me, but I didn't bother to look up if there were medieval wedding invitations extant.
I feel like you're thinking too much, Greg.
I'll try not.
We've been nitpicking this whole time. We can't give shit for that.
I guess we glossed over the fact that sort of Roderick's small council scene, that you sort of got that goal in your head to sort of secure the marriage alliance with the Glenmores, and
Yeah.
Mira can help out with that if you've taken certain steps beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you need the seal to make it work, because evidently, like someone said in the forums, I forget who, said that you can send it anyway without sealing the letter, and she'll still think it's from Marjorie. So I don't know.
I mean, Marjorie said in one of the ones I did, Marjorie was like, "I'll talk to my grandmother and she'll know what to do." So I didn't do anything with the.
That would make
paper.
sense.
Yeah, I had that one too, on my second playthrough, I'll talk to my grandmother, she'll set something up, but nothing came of it. It was just like a complete...
Oh, nothing came of it the whole episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I did send it, and it does help you secure the alliance. I think the way to make it work otherwise is that you have to trade, so you have to give the Glenwalls some of your ironwood. Though I messed up because there's a way, I guess, if you so she doesn't like being coerced by the letter. What's her name isn't happy about that. Glenwall woman. I don't remember her name. But she isn't happy about it. But I guess you can make her still kind of into you and wants to do the marriage for love anyway. But I didn't do that. I made it very much sound like he was of necessity, and so we're not really best buds right now.
Yeah, I just laid down my ironwood on the table and she couldn't resist. But I sort of feel like I've sort of given my ironwood, or promised it to 7 different parties.
To everybody, yeah.
Well, everybody's getting one tree, so it's fine.
Everybody's getting half somehow. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know my
it would-
divisions that
But you
well.
keep cutting it into more halves, yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter if you find the North Grove, does it? So then you would have plenty of trees left, because the other guys wouldn't know of your secret grove.
Right north of the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
There are no ice dragons. We spent a whole episode talking about ice dragons. There's no ice dragons in this one. Or at least that ice
empirical
dragon.
evidence
That ice
against
dragon
that.
is not in this world.
They say it is.
We'll save it.
Take it easy, Greg.
It's okay.
How many people don't have any patience for her other handmaiden?
Sarah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what she says or what she's
Yeah.
talking about. She's like she's trying to get you in trouble all the time.
Your friend's like, yeah, we'll take my dad's liquor. It'll be fine. They won't catch us. And then we'll sit in public in the living room drinking out of the bottle, hoping my uncle or my mom doesn't come by.
Well, I mean, I'm playing maximum, as I said in the first episode, self-interested Mira here, so I'm going to throw her under the bus as soon as I can.
I just want her killed as soon as possible.
I should have sent her to the Grove at midnight.
Yeah.
He just sort of reveals, like, out of the blue that, hey, I'm a bastard, by the way. Like, I don't know if you'll find this information useful in the future, but here it is anyway.
Oh, I will.
I sort of feel weird about, like, Tyrion just coming along and being all nice to all the handmaidens. Like, he's such a nice guy to everybody you meet. Like,
Here's
So-
Tyrion.
It's mostly
like my-
nice young girls, isn't it? Though.
I feel like my opinion on Tyrion is tainted by what I know from the books, and I shouldn't be trusting him as much as I do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that Tyrion was actually painted that positively in this, because he seems like he's very flippant about the situation with Mira, whereas for her it's like life or death for her whole family. For him it seems like it's a joke. He even says like this should be funny, and I think this kind of highlights how the super high lords, the lords paramount, etc., the guys in control kind of feel about the lesser ones, and they do feel very much like pawns. You feel like a pawn as Mira in this, and I think that Tyrion's still a part of that, so I didn't think Tyrion was all good in this.
Exactly. But I feel like from like my books, I'm like, oh, Tyrion's a nice guy. He's gonna try to help me out. But he's not. He's gonna be in the self-interest of the Lannisters, and it's just you have to know that. I'm not one of the small folks, so he's not trying to please me for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys trust Tyrion?
Like, I kind of feel like, sort of from a metagaming perspective, like, since the wedding is coming up, maybe I shouldn't, like, put all my eggs in the basket with the deal with Tyrion, because he's gonna be in jail soon. So he's
Yeah.
not gonna be any help to me. But I don't know, there's not really any other avenues of, like, alliance in there. I guess you can kiss Cersei's ass, but I don't think that's gonna pay off.
Not unless you're Moon Boy.
I'd love to see later on how it turns out. That would be actually quite cool to do a complete psycho playthrough where you do all the crazy things that you wouldn't do normally.
I don't know if you know
See,
this, but it's a video game and you can do that.
Yeah, I know. I just want to. I just want to get a feel for if it's actually give it like a payoff in the end. I won't actually know that before like later on.
I mean, you
So
don't
that's
want to
what-
waste hours of your life doing it.
I understand.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know if there's a payoff or not before I do it.
Right now, nothing seems to really change that much. But I guess it's the first 2 episodes; they can't really have too much change.
Yeah, I don't want to judge too much on the lack of choice yet until I see later on. I mean, I don't expect a lot of divergent endings, but I do hope that there's some, diverging stuff in the middle, kind of mix various things up a bit.
I was surprised by how big the file was, how little change there was from one playthrough to another. Like, I thought there'd be more scenarios.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning. Like, they got this up pretty fast, and they're obviously working on a lot of other stuff. But I do worry that they're not maybe putting as much content into this as we may hope. Part of my feeling on that is the fact that this episode was really buggy. Like, there were a lot of bugs with it, so I don't know how much polish and attention there. For me, yeah, there were a lot of weird, random visual, like desyncing things going on with the audio. So
The first time I played through it, when he's laying on the cart at the beginning, his father is just a black nothingness, like nothingness in the like I didn't even know what it was. He's like,
I didn't get that.
and I'm like, what the fuck was it? You can see the maggots are all lit up, but you can't see anything. It's just black. It's like a hole in the screen.
Yeah.
The same thing with the
Boy.
cart driver.
did you eat him?
Huh?
High
Did you eat 'em?
protein.
That's no, I didn't.
Of course not.
I only had a lag when they were doing the previously, like every scene they showed repeated it twice. It was
Oh,
just
wow,
I felt like
okay.
it was just catching up. Maybe it was I don't know, just because it was just starting, but it stopped after a couple minutes.
So you watched the things on the previously twice, so it was actually the third time you'd seen them.
Yeah.
So I guess we could talk about sort of Roderick's confrontation with Lord.
Oh, we didn't do everything with Mira.
We're done with Mira.
Oh, are we done?
No, go ahead.
Sort of like Roderick's confrontation with Lord Whitehill. I sort of feel like every episode it's sort of repeating the same sort of beats. Like every episode somebody gravely wounded arrives at Iron Wrath and the Maester patches them up, and then Lord Whitehill comes for a visit, and then they like argue for a bit.
Well, every time the Baron Harkonnen shows up, every time that shows up,
Yeah.
it's pretty. Yeah, he's got no redeeming features, but I feel like someone in his position should be more why is he keeping the Foresters around anyway? Like, they have no, like, he should just get rid of them and then take over. He has their rights to their land anyway, but he's just keeping them around because they're their name, basically. I mean, for the game it makes sense, I understand, but like from political standpoint, like, why you won, they lost, take their shit.
No, I think they need their knowledge on working with the ironwood.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get that from one of their like forest. Like, you think that they're actually in the forest doing the work, and get someone on their land to get the info. So
I was looking forward to Roderick lumberjacking in the future.
Yeah.
He's a lumberjack, but he's not
with that leg. Not with that leg.
But they didn't actually legally get the rights to the whole grove. They only got like half of it from Snow.
Yeah, but he says it in the episode. There's what's stopping him from taking it all? Nothing.
No, not necessarily, unless you can in later episodes like get in with Ramsay or something. Get cozy with him or
Get
Roose.
cozy with Ramsay. He killed your lord.
Sure, why not? I'd do it.
I would not.
In the game, I mean. But yeah, I think you might be able to do that. In some sense, play Ramsay or appeal to Roose.
I sort of get the feeling that we probably won't see Ramsay again, at least this season, in the game.
Yeah, I thought I was playing him pretty well when I was weaseling my way around, kneeling to him, and I was like, oh, I got this. I was brushing my hands off, and then stabby, dead. So.
Yeah, well, but what about the big choice in the episode? Did you kneel and kiss Lord Whitehill's ring, or did you defy him?
No fucking way I would kneel to that guy. No way.
I tried both of them, and it didn't really make any difference if I didn't.
Don't say that. Don't shatter our illusions. We're gonna.
How did?
A precious illusion.
How did you kneel to him anyway? His leg is like all busted up. I feel like he would just.
He just collapsed on the floor.
I'm not kneeling. I fell.
This game is really destroying all the many worlds theory, because if there's not actually a new universe spinning off into existence every time I don't make a decision, it kind of bothers me that there's really only one world.
But it does affect your relationship with the Glenmore girl. She doesn't respect you if you kneel.
Well, that was the big reason I didn't kneel, because I figured that would like turn her back to my side, was by saying that you didn't kneel to him. But then she kind of doesn't. She just leaves anyway.
So she doesn't show up for the wedding then, or talk to you when you kneel, or not the wedding. What am I saying?
When they wed, then when they break the arm.
I just assume weddings at this point.
Glenmore is Roderick's sort of bride to be, and like
yeah.
You kneel, you get Ryan for the funeral, and if you don't, you get Gwyn Whitehill, who's Asha's sort of beloved.
Yeah.
You get to meet her.
Yeah.
And plus, it seemed like the mother was kind of out of her mind a little bit there, so I wasn't going to make epic decisions based on just because she wants my brother at the funeral.
Yeah,
fuck her.
So much like Caitlyn.
She looks like Caitlyn, too. She's got Caitlyn's freaking cheekbones.
The high cheekbone theory. They're sisters. She's secret
totally
Tully.
different. No, she's totally different. She's blonde hair. Can't see that, man.
She's got like red. She's got like red hair.
Nah, she's sort of blonde.
Sansa had brown hair. These people can dye their motherfucking hair.
Yeah, she just took chlorine and bleached her hair, right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, like how there sort of seem to be sort of like carbon copies of the Starks, the Foresters. Like, I was like positively surprised by the fact that Roderick wasn't just like a Rob copy. That he was like, he sort of has aspects of Jaime in him now, because he's like this warrior that used to be the best of the best. And he's probably never gonna fight again. That he's just have to like become more political and sort of like settle into his new sort of lifestyle. I guess there's a bit of Bran in that as well, but yeah, like at first they sort of seem like carbon copies of the Starks, but like if you dig deeper, they sort of seem a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, I think Roderick's the most interesting character so far, and I also think Asher is distinct from that mold for the most part.
Yeah, the youngest girl, what's her name?
Talia.
Dahlia. Yeah, I liked her as well.
Yeah, she's really sweet. I like her as well. Like, she sings and she's really sweet. That's what you need. Like, yeah.
She knows like about Ilan Payne and stuff. I don't know how she knows about that.
So did anyone actually send her off to Ramsay?
You mean don't save her? I don't know. I've never tried that.
I think he decides to take the brother anyway. I'm sure. Like,
Okay.
Something happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the men are more valuable than the girls. Come on.
I mean, is the kid gonna sing the song instead? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that next try, just to try to send her off. And yeah, even though I know she's gonna be re-raped and hunted down.
That's
No,
way
I
too
think if
much
you-
alternate animating they would have had to do if it was someone else there the whole time.
If you don't save her, you just get like a passive-aggressive version of the funeral song. Like, it's not like fight on, Ethan the Brave. It's like watch on, Ethan the Wise, or something like that.
Ilan Payne is coming.
so did any of you guys actually bend the knee
No, I didn't.
on your main playthrough? I guess.
I sort of figure like in this game, like you should just go for what you feel like makes for the best story, because there's not gonna be that much divergence anyway. So like just defy
So
everybody
far.
and like
That's what I'm doing exactly. I'm trying to make it like characterized though. I'm not trying to just flippantly pick always the defiant option. I'm trying to be characters as much as I can.
well, you want to talk about the last mirror scene in the garden?
How about the discussion with Tyrion and her?
What kind of talk? Yeah. What do you mean? The discussion in the throne room or the one out in the garden?
No, in the throne room where they where she interrupts them and does her thing.
Yeah, I don't really know where that's going to go at this point. I did end up deciding to make the trade happen since I don't want to risk the Whitehills getting an edge on that. They kind of forced my hand, but I don't know what's gonna come of that. Again, my big takeaway is that it feels a lot like a game for Tyrion, which is kind of interesting. I thought that was a cool like kind of representation of how it looks from the lens of these lower lords as kind of how insignificant they are.
Especially because it's not mentioned in the books at all that he does this for this girl.
Mhm.
So it's not really that important for him at all. That's what I took away from it actually. That
Yeah,
feels
just
like
it's 2 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Next.
piss on Cersei's plans at 2 o'clock and it's 3 o'clock. Well, I'll do that some more.
It seems to me like he's just trying to get a better price from those other merchants. He's just like, oh, well, she's a Forester. We'll buy from them. So they're going to come back with a better price. Because, I mean, he's a master of coin, right?
I was gonna say it's a Bravosi merchant guy, right? Negotiator guy. Is that
Right, the
what it
nice
is?
one.
Yeah, he has such a nice voice. I gotta say, I would have been convinced by anything that guy said.
I didn't necessarily notice that, but okay, good to know. Thanks for sharing.
Uh-huh.
When Tyrion asked you that question at the end, like, will you do what I ask? Like, that's him playing with you right there. Because, like, if you say, yeah, I'll do anything else, he's like, you just promised me to do anything I want? He's like, that is either very brave or very stupid. And then you say the other one, and he's like, oh, that's interesting. Like, he's learning you right there, I'm guessing. Never promised Tyrion anything. I'm telling you, he's gonna fuck us.
He's doomed anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we know
Yeah,
he's fucked.
Yeah, and you could just go old Sansa on it and just say whatever people want to hear.
That's what I did with the Queen. Jesus, scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, I like the way she said when Tyrion commented that she has a knack for answering questions without saying anything at all. Her response said, "I'm not sure that I like that about her." Like the whole that part. This mirror character is actually doing a pretty good job at playing the game, even though she's 13, 14.
Yeah,
Well,
that.
actually, she's whatever age you are.
Yeah, I sort of like accidentally fell into that like on the first episode with the audience with Cersei. I was trying to be like sort of kissing her ass or stuff like that, but like then I picked the option like, do you swear allegiance to the king or something like that, and I picked the one true king, and she actually said like, the one true king, yes. And Cersei was like,
Cersei
what the
will
fuck does that
remember
mean?
that.
Like, the king in the north, yeah, whatever, yeah, sure. But so it turned into this whole like Villa Mandalay thing, like into a defiance thing again. I guess it's the most satisfying option, I guess, but maybe not the smartest one for the character.
So what were the other options then that would have made her believe that you meant Joffrey?
Yeah, I think it's probably the one with Joffrey in it.
Oh, that's probably right. That would make sense.
You're so glib sometimes.
I picked Joffrey. I gotta win the game here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or die.
I feel like no answer you made here would actually be win or lose the game.
Well,
We'll
not.
see.
Well,
We'll see, Brett.
yeah.
Oh, you're
I
right, you're
thought-
right, my
I
bad.
thought this was the pivotal point in the whole series. Is like now.
Seriously, we'll remember that. They
Yeah,
actually be like, remember when you said this? Yeah, off with her head,
Yeah.
and then she's just dead out of the game.
It's gonna.
Try
Yeah, it's gonna
again.
be like. Yeah, it's gonna be
Try
like a Prince of Persia things. If you don't get every single piece of the conversation right, then you can't get the good ending in the end.
Exactly. But you guys are right. I think that Mira does have a certain amount of like plot armor going on for her, as opposed to maybe some of the other characters, because she's the only POV in King's Landing, and I guess we kind of need that. So, unless we get a new person,
Yeah,
it
it
seems
goes
like
to
she's
Sarah
safe.
after she dies, maybe.
Sarah.
Well, I would
Yeah,
have thought Ethan
boy.
had plot armor until he got stabbed in the throat.
Yeah,
That
anything,
did surprise
anything's
me. I
possible.
did not see that coming.
Maybe the coal boy. Maybe they'll turn
We'll
to
play
him.
as the cowboy. So I guess if we go over that scene with the garden room being searched and stuff, like the thing that actually bothered me most in terms of like choices mattering, this was like weirdly one that bothered me, is if you're a dick to the coal boy, like he'll still save you. Like I don't know why that bothered me so much, but yeah, he still saves you no matter what you do with him.
Well, maybe that should tell you that he's got an ulterior motive.
Perhaps
Yeah, I wonder who he could be working for. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
it could be anybody.
Anybody at all.
Probably over
Yeah.
in Martell.
Yeah, you guys
Oprah?
being sarcastic, right?
I mean, it varies.
Yes, okay.
I don't know. It varies. It could be anybody.
Oh,
Okay.
shut up. It varies.
Yeah, I don't know, like, guy's whose name is Damien, do you trust him? Like, this kind of
Right?
telegraphing it
He's
right
got
there.
awesome handwriting.
He also had this. He had like 8-year-old handwriting, but he has like this very cultured voice. That's
Back
what
with K. Yeah.
Wait, what? You saw his handwriting?
Well, the
the
note.
letter.
It looked like it was written by a 3-year-old.
Oh, I thought the letter was from the guard.
It was. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's got really shitty
Oh,
for a
Yeah,
guard.
I thought you were
Damien, the
talking-
guard guy.
well, I mean, I'm surprised he can even write and read.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the thing. He seems like he'd just be like a random guard guy with that, but he has like this very like lordly voice. Again, I'm remarking on this.
He's probably like a Lannister of Lannisport or something like that. Second cousin.
Well, Peter has a lordly voice, but I don't think he's nobility.
Oh, fuck you,
You don't
sir.
know that though. Could be.
He did say "fuck you, sir," so it was very civil.
The coal boy Peter.
I did like how when the kids, that's all right, I'll take care of it from here. He's gonna literally drag a Lannister
Yeah, all over
guardsman
King's
all
Landing.
the way from
No
the
worries.
Red Keep to Flea Bottom.
Yeah.
I got this.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, they're gonna be eating Damien's stew in Flea Bottom tonight.
Well, I'm assuming if he's Vari's little bird, he knows the tunnels, but still.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, who's that guy? Oh, nobody. No, it's fine.
He's just really drunk.
I mean, did everyone
Yeah.
kill Damien though?
Yeah.
Did you have
Yeah.
to survive though, right?
I mean, you could run away.
Oh, there was Runaway, that's right.
You
Goes
could
on
just
away.
leave Cold Boy to his
He
own
fucking
devices.
drowns.
He still lives somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I saw like the preview for episode 3 on the save that
And
I
he's in
didn't
it,
save
yeah.
him, and he was there still. Like, I don't
He
know.
was still in it.
He's got good lungs.
Stupid no choice game. Ruining my immersion.
Yeah.
That's the real game here, is convincing us that you have
So-
choice.
So when you run away, he lives?
He might. The only reason I have to believe that is that he is in the preview, no matter what you do. But maybe that's a mistake. I don't know.
Oh, I thought the preview was based on the choices you made.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But apparently nothing depends on the choices you made.
Speaking of, did you guys take the dagger or did you throw it away?
You can't throw that shit away. It's
Throw that
pathetic
away.
evidence.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
kept it. I might.
What are
need
you
that.
gonna do with it? You're a lady.
I think I kept it
You're a
too.
lady.
What?
I'm just keeping everything. I'm just keeping everything. Unless I need.
You
I
have
did-
order. It's like just picking up, literally putting crates inside your. You put
Yeah.
the whole thing in your inventory.
I have
Yeah,
the
but I'm-
secret key and everything. Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
my.
I'm a
I'm
lady.
just gonna-
I can strap the dagger to my leg. It would have came in handy right there if I'd had a dagger beforehand, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I might need that.
Oh yeah, the
I just
fancy
drafted
key from
as-
episode 1. You that hasn't come into play yet. Can you steal that too, the fancy key?
You can steal it, but it hasn't come into play yet. No.
I did take the key. I didn't take the stamp, but I took the key.
Were you
I
guys
just have to
terrified by the open door in that scene, like when you're walking back to your room? There, that was like really scary. I didn't know what was gonna be there with like the thing on the bed. Like I was freaked out by that. No lie.
I just busted right in.
Yeah, I was like, hello, anybody there?
Yeah. But I just have to ask you, this is a pretty ornate dagger. You could probably recognize it if it's probably like harking back to like the Valyrian steel dagger thingy.
Yeah, it's the one that killed killed Bran.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I want it in a bet with Tyrion. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way I felt about the dagger that the dude stole up at the wall. It's like, dude, you know you can't show anybody that ever, right? What are you
Yeah.
gonna do with it? We all live here together in a closed community.
I was thinking, like, would you even get to keep that when you go? Because don't you, like, give up all your possessions when you get to the wall?
Well, I'm guessing when he stabbed somebody and killed him with it, they would have taken it from him. It would have been like, you can keep that, but you got to go to the wall with it.
And actually, no, you don't give up any of your possessions when you go to the wall.
Unless it's
Yeah.
got color in it.
No, you just have to dye it black.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of fashion, what are the Forester colors actually? Because I'm not sure. Because
Brown.
like their
Forest
banner
green
is-
and brown.
the banner is just like black and white, but Roderick was wearing like a light blue shirt later on. I don't know, like shouldn't it be like green though, since they're Foresters?
That's what I would guess. Forest green and brown.
Green and silver.
I mean,
Green
or-
resplendent on a field of silver.
a cloth of gold.
Boiled leather.
Yeah,
I could see him
Medieval
having
terms.
like a blue flame or something. I don't know.
yeah, that could be
Yeah.
it, yeah. But I mean, all the Foresters do have green eyes, though. So that's probably like the magic bloodline thing coming into play as well.
Or maybe just genetics.
No, Martin.
Magic.
Getting briefly, I just want to say back on the Mira scene. I thought it was odd that when you ask him, this was immediately like my suspicion that something was off. Well, obviously something was probably off. But when you ask him like did he mess up your room? He just ignores the question entirely. So I actually wondered if maybe he wasn't the guy who did that. But I guess
Well, he
Well,
said,
at
I
first-
just wanted to leave a note, right?
At first, I thought it was the coal boy that did it. Like,
Yeah.
left a note.
Oh, not the good cold. Oh, that left a note. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, if he's one of Bari's kids, he knows how to read and write, so that makes sense. And it looked like child's handwriting. So that's who I expected to find there. And then when that dude was there, I was like, oh, well, I must have to get rid of him for the coal boy to come. You kind of do. But
Yeah, in a way. But yeah, I thought the same thing.
I feel like Ethan's death in the first one was like kind of like Ned's death at the end of the first book. It was just something like to shock you into continuing. I like this episode, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that was like, hey, look, we're different than other games. Your main character died.
yeah, it's like the show. It's like we're like the show. That's a lot like how I feel about most of this game. I'm still enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
it
but
definitely is the.
I thought it was kind of a merciful release because Ethan was my least favorite character to play. So
Yeah, we got Roderick. It's all good in the end.
Maybe they were halfway through the first episode. It's like, nobody's going to want to play this fucking kid. Why don't we kill him and do something else? Like, what are we going to do?
Resurrect
Bring Roderick
Roderick.
back. Hasn't he been dead for like a month? Fuck it, bring him back.
He's not quite dead. He was just in the cart.
you guys want to move on to the big scene, the funeral?
Nah.
Is that the big scene?
I'm just kidding.
Like, I don't know, like Greg, you said that the song was really cheesy on the forums, but
Oh, I was like I just didn't. It did nothing for me. Maybe
I
I'm
thought
just
it was pretty cheesy too.
too jaded, but like if you're naming like Ilan Payne's gonna, it just seemed silly, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't expecting an original compilation at this point.
Right.
But it was trying so hard to be epic and rousing in the music, and then like it showed Sir Royland crying. I was like, Royland wouldn't be crying.
That makes no sense. That's the biggest mistake they've made.
Yeah.
So.
well, I don't know what to tell you, but it did touch me deep in my heart, the song. So I don't know, like maybe I'm in bad company here.
It got into your cold northern heart. All right.
Yes.
I'll-
Exactly.
Yeah.
When she finished, were you like, Iron from Ice?
Yeah, like through misty eyes. Iron from ice. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, his heart grew 3 sizes.
That day, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand if you liked it, but I'm kind of with Greg. It was felt
Good.
kind of weird to
I'm
me.
the only
And,
heartless one on this podcast.
yeah, I guess I'm heartless, but between like the weird out of character lines that I felt was going on there, and the singing voice just didn't sound like it was coming from her. It sounded very much like it was like voiceover, which it obviously was, but I
It
felt
came
like they
from her
could have.
TV speakers, not her mouth. Yeah,
I
get
felt like
that.
they could have done a good job making it. The audio seemed to fit more to her actually.
But I mean, she's just a kid though, so it's not gonna be like really eloquent. It's just like pretty basic stuff. So I mean, I think it worked pretty well. Yeah, let's say.
I did like the way that they were going, like while she was singing between the scenes of the characters. I thought that was a cool choice. I thought
Well,
cleaning
one
the
that was
dagger off and stuff
more
because I'm keeping that dagger.
I'm trying to find the lyrics, but I can't find the lyrics anywhere.
Yeah, the
I
song
wonder if-
changes a
are they
little bit
different?
based on your choices. Like,
Did it?
like
does,
if
yeah.
I was
you-
wondering if it did.
It's mostly based on what you do with, like, when Ramsey grabs Talia.
Oh Jesus!
It's like if you sort of like yell him down, it's different, and if you grab Talia, it's different, and if you don't do anything, it's different then. But
And he did nothing to save me.
it's like, yeah, watch on, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, but seriously, fuck Ethan. That's how it ends with that option.
You think those guys were shedding a tear for Ethan? No, it was for the other guy, the father.
Speaking of, one of the biggest choices in the episode, which pirate did you like first?
Which
Didn't
what?
matter because neither of them burned at all.
But I think you can say different things about Gregor when you're giving your like eulogy as Roderick. He
Yeah,
was
you
like
can
the.
like say something like
Honorable. I went with honorable.
Oh yeah, I think honorable too.
honor.
Honor.
Did you guys get the scene with Gwyn Whitehill on the funeral?
Yeah, because I didn't bend any, so I didn't collapse on the floor.
I sort of felt like that was the more satisfying one, like instead of like having that like little short visit with your brother than having like actually meeting a new character.
Yeah, it gave more nuance to it to know that there's someone who's, if not in your corner, who's not necessarily in her father's corner 100%.
And it characterizes Asher more, sort of.
Yeah, and it's sort of like when your mom is like, kill every one of them down to the last baby in arms. Like, oh, no, I don't know, man. Come on, Gwyn is kind of cool. I don't want to kill her.
See, I still told Mom that I'd kill everyone, but I'm not gonna kill everyone.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
mother, sure, whatever. But yeah, it sort of like bothered me a little bit, sort of, since the voice actress for Gwyn was Laura Bailey, who's an American voice actress. I like recognized her, and the British accent sort of grated me a little bit.
Yeah, she was the worst one, I think, of the voice acting. I think she was the weakest.
Yeah, I don't think I would have noticed if I didn't know her voice from beforehand, but it's like, since I did, it was not super great, no. But what were those things in the funeral when Talia puts like some stuff in like Ethan and Gregor's hand, and what are those, seeds or something?
Maybe it's to grow trees out of their bodies.
Iron from corpses, not ice.
Well, like they were talking about how like they would grow to be strong or something like that, weren't they? Didn't she say something like that?
They're burning them into fertilizer. That's what the blue fire does.
Ironwood is made from people, is it?
Ironwood is people.
Oh my god.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's what's up in the North Grove. It's just they haven't burned all the bodies yet to grow a new forest.
And do you know who does the voice of Sir Royland? Do you remember the guy from Seinfeld who opened the restaurant and he wagged his finger at George? No, it's that guy. Brian George.
I don't know the guy like from Seinfeld, but I did look it up, and he's like the same guy from Dragon Age Origins. He does Knight Commander Gregor, and basically the same voice.
Oh yeah.
as Sir Royland.
Yep.
But yeah, he's like an Indian guy, isn't he?
He's the one at the Circle Tower, right?
He's,
So I'm
Indian,
not
he's British, I think.
He's at the Circle Tower, right?
Yeah, he's
Peter?
basically the same character there.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very bad. That was his line from Seinfeld. Sorry.
So guess that pretty much wraps up episode 2, I guess. You guys got any predictions for episode 3?
Or what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, okay, we're gonna talk about the preview stuff.
Well, I guess everybody watched the preview, or?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of make you. You can't really not.
Does anybody else kind of wish when you played the game there was like a button for like 2 times the speed? Like for replays and stuff. Like I was trying to play it before we talked, and I was like had it like an hour and a half and started a new one, and I feel like I could get through it if like all the scenes where they're just chit chatting and walking around. It's like if I could watch that at twice the speed.
Or let you skip it, like if you're doing it again. I think that's a big oversight to not have some kind of dialogue skip for when you want to play through again. I agree, that's kind of a bad thing. Though I feel like we're shitting on this game more than honestly I feel. I just want to be very clear. I do enjoy the game a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the next part. So, despite all these things we said about lack of choice and stuff.
Well, none of us. I mean, aside from that, like none of us really taking it down or have major complaints. It is super enjoyable, and it's I like it more when the I think I may have said this in the first one, but when the characters aren't on the screen. So it's just you're just enjoying, you're exploring the world that you didn't, bits of it you didn't know.
Exploring, walk,
Talking in the world.
Exploration sections are really amazing. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know that the King's Road goes to Ironrath.
Yeah.
To know that.
Does it though?
No.
No, but they're like going.
Yeah.
Like it says he's on the King's Road, and then he passes out. So I assume they went off the King's Road.
No, but
Well-
even on Garrett's scene, when Garrett came back, it was like, meanwhile, on the King's Road.
The King's
Oh, yeah, follow-
from King's
follow the
Landing
King's
to
Road.
Garrett's dad's pig farm.
It's a landmark.
But I do agree, like, about the sort of like the named characters or the characters from the books and the show, that I care a lot less about them. Like, I've sort of been more involved in the Forrester family. Like, I sort of
Right.
feel connected to them more than I've been to, like, I don't know, like watching Game of Thrones the last couple of seasons. Since I know everything's gonna happen. Like, I sort of like,
Not anymore.
I'm into
Done,
the Forresters.
Yeah.
But I think that I was kind of sort of relying on the main the characters from the show a bit too much in the first episode of the game, but I definitely felt more into the characters from the game in this episode. I think they did a good job of really putting the lens on them and making them interesting, so I think they're getting better with that.
I don't know, like, what the end game is gonna be like. Of course, Asher is gonna kill Ramsay. I need vengeance for Ethan, like, that's gonna happen. Like, in Winds of Winter, it's gonna be like, Asher Forrester sprang forth from the ranks and killed Ramsay Snow. That was for Ethan, you son of a bitch, and went back. It's probably
And Mira
gonna happen.
Forrester takes the throne.
Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna happen.
fairly sure that's gonna happen.
Yeah, like, what impact can the Foresters have? They can't have any impact on the greater storyline. So I'm trying to even think, like, what is their end game? What's their best case scenario? Just to be there, just to survive.
Well, I guess,
Yeah.
like, I've figured that because they are with Stannis in Dance of Dragons, that's where it's gonna lead. But I
Right.
suppose, like, from a gratification standpoint, the best you can do right now, I guess you could get to kill Lord Whitehill, I guess.
Mhm.
That would be pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
hmm
But I guess that
Maybe
would
the
sort
show will like give us a fuck over and have like some Ironwood person kill Ramsay Bolton. They're like, we have control, motherfuckers. Look at this.
This is canon now. Deal.
I actually hope for stuff like that. I would want that to actually happen because, well, the
go
more,
beaten path. Yeah.
the more of the beaten path, the better.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
As long as Frostfingers doesn't show up in the show, I'm all good. Whatever else.
They can't do too much with this storyline because because the choices we're making are making a difference, and if the show like pins it down, then it can't go different directions, right?
Yeah, but then again, there isn't much difference in what choices you make.
Shh. Yes, it makes a big difference. We've been talking about this the whole night.
We're chasing the fate
So-
of Westeros here. Come on, man.
Yeah, okay. So we pretty much sure that at least some of these Foresters are gonna live in some way. So
Maybe, like, I don't know how much they're using the Foresters from the book as, like, this is the same people. I don't know how much that is the case. So
I think,
maybe
like-
not. I think there could be an ultimate Doom ending, and it might not necessarily be canon, but I think it could maybe exist in the book where, like, they all die and it ends and everyone being out of there.
Like, from the impression I got from the books, like, about the Foresters, that they were like the people that were trying to sneak into Deepwood Motte in Ash's chapter. That they were like these sort of like woodsmen, more sort of like clan people than like a proper northern house.
Yeah, that's not
Oh,
what we get though.
Yeah.
They don't have to be the same, though. There's no need to be beholden to the books with this, because it's not book canon at all.
But
Yeah.
I guess for the next episode, on the sort of title card for episode 3, there's a picture of Rhaegal, and in the preview, we do sort of go into a cave and there's a dragon there. So
Is it definitively a dragon? I don't remember. Do you actually see a dragon?
well,
I don't think
No,
you
it's
fuck,
a
that was gonna be-
velociraptor. It's a
That's the
velociraptor.
raptor. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a Quentin moment here for Asher.
Yeah.
obviously.
Press
Just completely
A.
nullify his storyline. He just dies there at the end.
Yeah. Continue button mashing A to right Rhaegal.
He's
Doesn't
gonna get
matter.
there. Barristan's gonna be like, "Oh, the history of your house was riding ice dragons." Actually, it's like you're gonna have to check the Northwood.
Grove, man.
That's where they
Grove.
kept them.
Come on, get your facts
Whatever.
straight.
Oh, maybe the forests are actually the lineage of the Night King and stuff like that. Maybe the freaky guy we saw in last season, he's actually related to the Foresters.
He doesn't have green eyes.
Nah, well, no.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna sort of disregard most of what you said, but like, sort of like the idea that like it's the sort of magical things in the Forrester family line, because there, in the Codex there is the sort of thing about is it Alyssa Forrester, the mom, like that she had a vision of like that her child would have like the sweetest voice on earth or something like that, and then she gave birth to Ethan and Talia. So there's some sort of magic-y stuff in there, I think, but not that much necessarily.
All right, let's be frank here. That was not the sweetest voice on earth, so we can just discount that as any.
Yeah, maybe you're just thinking that those two combined they might have had the sweetest voice, but they each of them had like a talent to do music in one way or another.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
it
Talia
was kinda
doesn't have much
heartbreaking.
of a hope for a solo career then.
Right,
Uh.
because he's not very good. His voice box got damaged in the knife thrust.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like sad to see the tapestry of like the happy family, which.
Be like crossing heads off of it.
Yeah.
But also, I just picture like them holding that pose and like the cross stitchers just like, all right, hold that, let me get that. All right, yeah. Pretty sure that didn't happen either, but it was a nice little Kodak moment.
I will say, on the exploration aspect, it did take me a while to find those barrels that I had to roll over, so it's not as easy as it seems.
Did anyone else try to shoot the Night's Watchman with the crossbow?
I did try, yeah.
It wouldn't let me. That's my first thing.
Really, that was your first choice?
Well, just to see if I could. I mean, I'm on the Night's Watch already. I can just join up again.
He's like, shoot the middle one in the chest.
Mulligan, redo. Yeah.
Not me, fucker.
Oh, I've killed a man. I guess I have to join the Night's Watch now. Oh!
What happened? Like the dude that was trying to set the crossbow up, did he put that through his foot?
Yes,
I
Yeah.
thought he shot himself in the foot, but I think he just hit his foot with the wire, like it snapped his foot.
Yeah.
I don't think he shot himself.
It looked like the arrow went right through that foot. I was like, "Whoa, you're a fucking steward now, aren't you?"
Yeah. Pretty sure he's gonna be a steward either way.
There's no Garrett. Garrett can reload his crossbow in like 2 seconds flat, so.
It depends on how fast you can tap the button, which I assume you're gonna have to do when there's real combat.
Tap the button.
Tap the button.
Do you actually think there's going to be real combat at some point?
Well,
No,
sort of
if you mean
combat
like
we had
not
in the
quick time
bar
events,
earlier.
yeah, it'd be quick time events.
Maybe we'll jump into some kind of a tower defense game at some point.
Maybe.
Well, they did have sort of like sort of almost FPS sections in the Walking Dead game, like where you had to shoot a lot of zombies in the head. Like they could have one of those maybe.
That's like what the crossbow is, like that, but a little more fast paced because they're moving.
Did anybody miss with the crossbow?
Nah.
No.
I didn't think so.
I didn't miss with the crossbow, but I know I messed something up. I can't remember what I did. Where they like
Sword?
maybe something something with the I think it was before even the train started. I did something wrong, and they were. I can't remember.
You
Yeah.
stood in Finn's place?
Yeah.
No. I did do that, but
I did
Yeah.
appreciate the fact that you got to choose one of the 3 swords on the training sword rack. Like you could either take the one with the brown hilt, or the one with the red hilt, or the one with the
Yeah.
black hilt.
Yeah.
Not
that was
it
exciting.
matters.
That was exciting. It was like the Mass Effect 3 ending. It was.
Well, if you take the one with the black hilt, it's like, oh, a Night's Watch decision.
Yeah. Jon Snow will remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your expectation for next episode?
Did we go over that like 2 times already.
We never actually said anything. We kept getting distracted.
Ice dragons. As long as there's no ice dragons, I'll be happy.
Well,
So
I mean,
the son of Whitehill is going to show up, right? That's the big thing. He's going to show up at
Griff.
Ironrath.
And here's my prediction: he's gonna be nice.
He's gonna be a great guy.
No way.
I mean, like with a dad like that, he's gonna be a great guy.
Interesting that he's like the youngest son. I think that's what they said, that he's not like important at all.
Didn't they say that it was gonna be like an episode every 4 weeks or so? But like this one came out like the start of this month, and the first one came out in the start of December, didn't it?
I thought it was
it's
going
not-
to be every other month.
Yeah, I think that it's not terribly out. This is as fast as I've ever seen them put them out. Really, I guess comparable with The Walking Dead, like every like a month and a half to 2 months. That's not bad. I think that's pretty good.
So it's gonna be like, so we're gonna probably see the start of season 5 of the HBO show before the end of this season of the game.
Yeah, for sure. I think.
Yeah, not quite sure why they didn't they haven't really announced the next release date for any of the other episodes that's coming up. So
Probably because they don't want to be like locked down.
Yeah, they didn't.
Aren't
They didn't
making them
release
as they go, right?
exactly. They didn't release this one until pretty recently.
Until
Until
like a week before the actual release of the episode or something
Yeah,
like that.
they want to play it safe. They don't want to be beholden to, because there could be a delay. I don't mind. I can forget about the game for long. Like the same thing with the last one. Like this one, like came up and surprised me. I'm not desperately waiting. I do enjoy them whenever they come up, but I'm not like chomping at the bit for the next one.
I had my wife play it as well. She did almost the same choices as me, so that was kind of boring. But yeah,
They don't matter.
they do matter. This is consensus now, okay?
I guess there are sort of good games to play with another person. Like you can judge them for
Yeah.
their choices. Like
Yeah, and they're
You
easy to
monster.
play. I can see them being really fun. Like
Stand over their shoulder.
Yeah, yes.
Ooh, bad choice.
Yeah, exactly. I did that a few times.
even though you made the same choice, he still said that.
Yeah, that's exactly why I know it's a bad choice.
Ethan's gonna die now because you did that. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my
Get a
god,
s-
you killed him? What
Yeah,
the fuck?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting her through it. I think she's better at games like this because she's a bit more like a casual gamer. So
Yeah, I like that it's very accessible. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think anyone can enjoy this game if they're
well,
interested in the story.
So personally, I'm such a good gamer that I only died once on this episode. Like
Whoa.
in, like,
Okay.
on the when I had to crawl away as Mira.
Yeah,
Couldn't
that's
figure
where I
it out.
died too.
so you died?
Yeah.
I died on the Talia thing too because it wasn't working right. Like trying to run away from him, like the arrow keys weren't doing anything. So
I died when like you kill the guard as Asher, like the one that's like going, the one that you grab and you slice his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I died on that one because I didn't know they were gonna have me do anything after I pushed the button to grab him. I was just like, oh, circle.
So you
Whoa, whoa,
stepped out
oh, I'm dead.
It's too late. It's 4:00 now.
All right,
4 a.m.
well, let's call it a podcast.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
ah.
would be probably like, I mean,
good ending.
I might
Wrap it up, Peter. Wrap it up.
should we do like a sound up, like what?
Just say
How
thank you
do-
for listening to
how do we
Vassals of
end these things?
Kingsgrave.
So okay, I guess that was it.
Usually I just howl at the moon like a wolf.
No, that is
No.
not the proper protocol here. Okay, so thanks for
Crack
listening. This has
it.
been Vassals of
Iron from
Kingsgrave.
Ice. Iron
Iron
from
from
Ice. All
Ice.
together.
Iron from
Iron
ice.
from ice.
Iron
Wait,
from
no,
Ice.
we gotta count down and do it all together. Ready, guys?
Oh,
3,
God.
2, 1. Iron from
Iron
Ice.
Iron from Ice.
I thought you guys were gonna make me do it all by myself like a jackass.
Yeah, like, do you guys
like,
say
yeah,
it,
cool,
with,
man.
With the R is Iron from Ice or Iron from Ice. You American people.
What did I say?
Aluminium from ice. How about that?
Wait, what did I say?
Like, don't Americans pronounce more stuff with R and it's British? They
Iron.
Drop the R.
Here.
Iron. From
Iron.
Ice.
Wait, what? Did I say iron?
No, because you're not insane.
I don't understand.